Hi, my name is Sam P Jalloh, and I'm here today to discuss a topic which is dealing with racism. First of all, before I continue with the topic, I would like to give a brief history about my background. I'm originally from Sierra Leone. I was born in Freetown in 1982, and Sierra Leone is a very, very nice, wealthy country on the coast of West Africa. But due to mismanagement, Sierra Leone has suffered so many setbacks through corruptions over the years, which that led to the civil war, which began in 1991. And because of that, and I saw so many things which cause hate against people, the youths, and the grown-ups, the politicians, the ordinary people. And through that, the war escalated throughout the country, and tens of thousands of people lost their lives, and close to 1 million people were displaced all over the place. So given my background coming from the war and how hate can cause so many atrocities for people, and this is why today I'm here to discuss the issue about racism and hate and how this can affect our lives, especially in this modern day when we've seen what has happened in the past months in America and all over Europe and Africa, and what is going on between humanity. So with that being said, the first question I will ask is, or that people always ask me, is what is racism? And it depends how other people will describe their racism, because all of us have different encounter with racism and different kinds of reaction we've had. For me, racism is basically when somebody hates another person because of their skin color, or also because those who are racist to others feel that they are superior to others. And because of this has led to so many of the most inhumane treatment we've seen against other people because of their color, their skin color, or where they come from. So this is why it's very important for us to stick into this kind of topic so that we can talk about it. But moreover, we need to understand how we're going to tackle racism and what we need to do, and how we can all come together and make this world a better place. The first thing for me, I think, to tackle racism is to get to the bottom of the root of how it started and why it started, because I generally believe that no one is born racist. And if you put children together from different skin color, different culture, different background, and you leave them there to play, they will play for the rest of the day and they will never have any problem with what color they look like. But if you bring the parents among these children, and then that's where the education will start from the parents, say, no, don't do this, don't do that, don't touch, and all this kind of thing. And then the kids start learning that they're different, their color is different, and their culture is different, which cause a lot of problem. And that's how we all grow to learn about racism. So for me, I've seen over also when the new football season starts in America, here in Europe, especially in England, and I'm watching and seeing all the footballers every day. Before the match, they will take a knee, they will kneel down, which is very good as a gesture. It shows that everyone is coming together to fight this racism, and we're standing one. But clearly, that is very good for the whole world to see that yes, people are concerned, and it's affecting so many people in our modern day society. But for me, I think clearly for us to get to the bottom of racism, we do need to start with education. Education that starts from school, from homes, from parents, because if we don't tackle this in school to teach people that if you hate somebody because of their skin color, it can be very, very painful. That's one of the most destructive things as human beings, to hate others. And if it has never happened to you before, it's okay. It's not okay. It's easier for you to make judgmental statement to say, people shouldn't act like this. People shouldn't be angry about this, because it's not happening to you. Like, I remember one thing my dad once said: if you don't want fire on your head, if you don't want chili in your eyes, don't wish or do the same thing to other people, because it hurts. If you know that a fire can hurt, don't do the same thing to somebody else. Don't put fire into somebody's head. If you know that if you put yourself in somebody's position, and to feel that if you were in their position, how would you react to racism? If somebody hates you because of your skin color, how would you react? If you can think like that, you can imagine, how painful that is for somebody just to hate you because you were born, either you were born as a black person or as a white person or brown person or, whatever color somebody is, and you just hate them for that color is something which can be very, very tough to deal with. So, tackling this, like I said, we need to go back to education. We need to teach, our government need to put this in schools where they teach the real culture about other people, like African people or Indian people or Chinese people or European people. So we need to learn about each other's culture. We need to appreciate each other's color, skin tones, and all the way on what people look like on this planet for us to be able to get on with each other. If we look around nature, it's like some people like green, the grass is green, the trees are green. We look at birds that fly. Some birds are black, some are white, some are blue, some are red, some has all the other colors. And we look at all these beautiful things. We look at flowers, how they're different. And we love them because everybody loves different colors. We love colorful things. When you look at a painting, you look at an artistic thing, you love all the colors, the way they mix them together. So why don't we as human beings accept that, we all come in different colors and different tones, and we can just be on this planet and accept each other and continue to support each other instead of not liking somebody because of their skin color. So I had this few experience, and here in my local town in England. And once I had my twin daughters, they were little in their twin baby prime. It was a summer day, and I was so happy and proud and walking towards town. And I remember this gentleman was on his bicycle, riding his bike, and then he looked at me, and I looked at him and I smiled. I said, "Good afternoon." And to my surprise, and he turned to me and said, "Why don't you go home?" Meaning I must go back to Africa. Because I'm an African, I sound African, plus I'm a black person. And so I just smile back and continue and my walk. But when you look at this kind of thing that somebody just look at me and say I should go back home to where I come from just because of what I look like, that for me is something which I think the whole world, we should all come together and change this mentality. And the second one that happened was actually in America. I was in Florida, and I traveled with an American tennis player, and so we went to a black neighborhood, so-called black neighborhood, and we trained on their park, and it was good. We had a great time, and all the people there were so welcoming. They were happy for us to be there. And then the following day, we went to the so-called white neighborhood. And I could remember being on court. Half an hour later, the park ranger turned up, about two of them, and they turned up and they said, "Excuse me, sir." I go, "Yeah." I said, "You have to leave the tennis court." So I asked him, I said, "Why do I have to leave?" And he said, "Well, we've just had a neighbor that just called us and said, you're not supposed to be here, you should leave." So, and I started laughing. I said, "Well, I'm originally from Africa, but I'm also British, and I think if you come to England, or if you go to my country in Africa, we would not treat people like this just, because they came to our neighborhood, they're not supposed to be there, so I have to leave." So anyway, we have to pack our bags, and then we have to leave. But for me, I was a little bit upset to say, wow, somebody sat in their house and they saw me as a black person or an African person training in their neighborhood. So I'm not supposed to be there, even though it's a park which belongs to everyone that is around that area, or people who can come and have an hour of tennis or so. So it did affect me a little bit because I was upset that somebody just hates me to be around because of they feel privileged or superior over me. So these are the things that I think we need to be careful, and we need to come together and start to combat this thing. So recently also, I was in my little town in Southport where the Black Lives Matter parade was going on, and my daughters wanted to be part of it because their older siblings were there as well. And it was very amazing to me to see that, the majority of the people who were actually there were white people. I know on the other side we do have some right-wing people who are trying to stop, people to protesting or to show their concern about racism. But it was also beautiful to see that so many other people from different color, different background, different culture have come together to say no to racism, that we all need to come together and understand that everyone's matter, everyone's contribute. I know if you look back into how the police in some areas have been pursuers, that they causing so much trouble, but it was very clear to me to see that the Merseyside police has been handling all the problems very well, and especially that they was there. They were really good, very much make sure that everything was under control, and they give the other people, who were protesting or marching, their freedom, and make sure that they were well protected, especially when we have some few other right-wing people who were there to make sure that to disrupt the protest itself. So the Merseyside police have done a really great job in this form, especially in this category, especially at this time where we're having so much police, brutality around the world. So they've shown that they're with the people, that they treat everybody equally, around the Merseyside area. And I do hope that's a good example to, police forces around the country, around the world, around Europe, America, Africa, wherever you are, not to discriminate somebody because of their color. So for me, this my take and conclusion to this is that as people of this planet, like when I said before, if an asteroid is coming to hit our planet, it's not going to pick just on black people or white people or whatsoever. It's humanity that is going to be under danger, and we are called human beings because we are all supposed to be free. As the saying goes, that every human being are born equally. We're supposed to be equally respected, equally treated the same way. I know this has not been the case for hundreds of years. This has been going on, but we do need that education. We do need to come together and to share this passion and empathy with each other, and learn also about people's culture, so that we can learn to embrace other people, something that is different. We're all different for very good reason, because we come from different places, different continents. So we just need to be able to love each other and come together and support each other's struggles. When I look at myself coming from Sierra Leone, for an example, I grew up in the slum of Freetown, and I started playing tennis at a very young age. But I could remember at the age of 13, I had never had a tennis shoes in my life. So 13 years old, I was playing close to 40 degree, best of 3 set with barefoot. And I remember once I was playing in the national championship in Sierra Leone as a junior, and whilst I was in the quarterfinal, one of the sponsor guy who was from the Sierra Rutile, which is a mining company in Sierra Leone, and he was an American. And he came and he saw me playing barefoot, and he asked one of the coaches, why is he playing, tennis barefoot? And this guy, my coach said to him that, he played barefoot because he can't afford to have the shoes, but also he likes to play that way. So anyway, the following day, this white guy turned up, and then he gave me my first ever pair of tennis shoes. Even though I lost in the semi-final, and I blamed the shoes and this white guy for bringing me the shoes at the wrong time. But the reason why I'm bringing this story up is to show that, if we can show that kind of concern, that somebody who come from America and he's white, I'm a black kid from Africa, and I'm African, and he can show that compassionate, that okay, he needs to have a shoes, and he shares with me with something, and he felt that, for somebody to be playing tennis, on the nearly 40 degree heat barefoot, that must be painful, and he shared that pain with me and gave me my first pair of tennis shoes, which, as we know, the rest was history. And I continued, qualified, and then went on to play for my country, which today has changed my life. And so many countless other examples I could give, how beautiful it is to have help from each other. And let's take the color out. Let's take, I am black, I am white, I am brown, I am this, I am that. Let's take all that out and put that aside. And let's look at each other again as a human being. And let's share whatever we have with each other. Let's stop being, prejudiced to other people. It's not a nice thing for somebody to go home, for a child to go home and feel that because of their skin color they're not wanted, because they are brown, because they are black, because they are white, because of this, and other people hate them. So, and I hope that this message will go through, that our government will continue to look into putting more education into schools about teaching people about the contribution that other people make. It's not just a white wall, a black wall, a brown wall, or whatever wall. It's a wall for every human being. So our next chapter, we're going to talk about the race card, what is false racism, and how people sometimes falsely jump on the race wagon and they jump and are using the race card. That even everyone should stop these sort of things to say because I am black or white, because I'm brown, I'm going to use this to get you. Like I say in America, doing a research now, when they're talking about people who are called Karen, who are basically, there was a lady who called the police in the park in New York because this African American guy or black guy was asked the lady to stop because the dog was walking the dog in a place where she should not be walking with the dog. And then she pretended this guy has racially, abused her. And then she started calling the police. But thank goodness, with technology today, it was filmed and it was recorded. And this lady was, was charged with, making false accusation. So this kind of thing we need to stop. Because hating somebody, if you think about yourself, if you've been hated, maybe if you've never been in this situation, it's easier for you to say, well, people should not be angry, people should not do this. But take yourself for a second, sit down and think, if that was me, my child, my sister, my uncle, what would be my reaction? How that would affect me? And once we can do that, we all can stop hating each other for being black, for being white, for being brown, for being whatever color people are. We just need to understand that we're human beings. Me as a black person is not going to make you a less of a human being, being white or being brown or whatever. And you as a white or brown should not make me less of a human being or think that I am better or you better than me. We're all human beings on this planet. We should love each other, care for each other, show some compassion, show some love and respect and regard for each other. Most of all, we must have empathy. We're all human beings. We can live on this planet and make it a better place for all of us, so that in the next generation, our children will grow up to enjoy each other's culture and difference in their skin color, which should not be any materialistic thing to everyone. Thank you very much.